percents homework. We're going through each problem one at a time. Problem one. Problem below is cut into, the figure below is cut into 20 equal parts. Shade 90% of the figure. We know that the word percent breaks up into two words. Percent per hundred. So percent is per hundred. So 90% is 90 per hundred. Now this has 20 pieces. So 90% would be how many pieces? Well, 20 goes into 100 5 times. So something times 5 is 90. So we could take 90 and we could divide it by 5. Divide, multiply, and subtract. Bring it on down. Oh, that's 5. Bring it on down, bring it on back. Divide, multiply, and subtract. There we go. 18. So 90 per 100 is the same as 18 per 20. So it's all of them but 2. So shade them all except for 2. 18 out of 20. That's 90%. Okay. There's other ways to do it, but I like changing things to fractions best. Question 2, write 0.4 as a percentage. 4/10 as a percentage. 4/10. If I say it, I'm saying 4/10. 4/10 is the same as 40 hundredths. 40 per 100. 40%. Another way we could do it is we know per 100 means divide by 100. So we could divide this by 100, which would basically, we would be taking 0.4, we could annex a bunch of zeros on it. And when we divide by 100, we're going to move the decimal 2 places this way. I'm sorry, that's wrong. We're going to move the decimal 2 places this way because we're changing it to a percentage, so we're going to multiply by 100. So the decimal would go there. We could rewrite it as 40%. Write 28.5% as a decimal. So that's 28.5 per 100. So we're going to divide by 100. When we divide by 100, now we move the decimal 2 spots this way. So 28.5% is 285 thousandths. Okay, it's all about moving the decimal. Rewrite the percentage in the sentence below as a decimal. The value has decreased to 30% of the purchase price. Decreased 30%, 30 per 100. So I'm going to move the decimal 2 spots this way. 30 hundredths. You could also write it as 3/10. Same thing. Rewrite the decimal. The photographer filled 54 thousandths of her memory card with an animal pictures. So 5400 thousandths would be 5.4%. 54 thousandths. Okay, so we're either going to multiply by 100 or divide by 100. And make sure you go the right direction. You saw me almost go the wrong direction with one of those. Question 4. 38% as a fraction in simplest form. 38%. 38 per 100. Look for common factors. We know they're both even. We can divide them both by 2. 19 over 50. 19 is prime, P-R-I-M-E. The only factors are 1 and me. 19 doesn't go into 50, so that's your answer. Write 1/5 as a percentage. So 1/5, and we want to figure out how many per 100. Okay, so let's figure out how many 5s fit into 100. 20. So 1 times 20 is 20 hundredths. So 20 hundredths is 20%. We could do it other ways. We could see how many 5s fit into 1. Bring the decimal straight up. See that that's 20 hundredths, and then change that to a percent, 20%. But I like doing it this way. The strip below is divided into 10 equal parts. Fill in the missing fractions and percentages. Note that your fractions don't need to be in simplest form. Okay, so it's 10 parts. So this is 0/10, 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10, 6/10, 7/10, 8/10, 9/10, 10/10, which is 1. So this is 0%. 3/10 is the same as 30 hundredths, 30%. There's 70%, there's 80%, there's 90 hundredths, or 90%. Okay. use a lot of strategies to find these answers. I'm only showing you one from most of these. Rewrite the fraction of the sentence below as a percentage. The 20 overseas investors own 13/20ths of the business. We're gonna write this fraction as a percentage. So I'm gonna see 13/20ths is how many hundredths? 20 times 5. So I'm gonna do 13 times 5, which I know is 65. So it's 65 per hundred, which is 65%. Use the calculator to find 95% of 41. Do not round your answer. 95% is 95 per hundred of, always means multiply. So 95 hundredths times 41. So I could put in my calculator 95 divided by 100 times 41, or I could do 0.95 times 41. Now, our answer is going to be a little bit smaller than 41. It's probably going to be 38 or so. So when I get a final answer, I want to make sure it makes sense. But use your calculator to find that. Okay, a chemist is using 382 milliliters of a solution of acid and water. If 13.7% of the solution is acid, how many milliliters of acid are there? Round your answer to the nearest tenth. Okay, so it's 13.7% of 382 milliliters. Okay, we know of means multiply. So 13.7% times 382. We gotta change this to a decimal or a fraction. So I could do 13.7 divided by 100, or I could move the decimal 2 spots and do 0.137 times 382. I could do either of those. Times 382, it's going to give you an answer probably about 50. Let's say it's 43.87. I'm just giving you an answer. Now it says round to the nearest tenth, so I'm rounding to this. So I got to see if the 7 makes it stay an 8 or go up. Makes it go up, so my answer would be 43.9. That's not the real answer. I just did it without a calculator and gave you an estimate of what it should be. Okay, that's questions. Question 9. 3 more to go. Question 10. The citizens of a city were asked to choose their favorite type of pet. They like birds. I am not moving to this city. Not my kind of city. The circle graph shows how the citizens answered. If 85,000 citizens answered the question, how many chose cats? Why you would choose cats over dogs, I don't know. I could choose a cat over a bird though. 21% chose cats. So we want to know 21% of 85,000. Again, of means multiply, so 21% is the same as 0.21. Move the decimal 2 spots for 21 over 100 times 85,000, and it should give you an answer about 20,000 or so. Makes sense. So it's got to be less than 85. It's going to be about a quarter of that. Next question. Another circle graph. Each person in the community was asked, what's your favorite type of pet? And the circle graph shows their answers. Here we go. More people like dogs and cats and birds, finally. Which category was chosen by 1/4 of the community? Well, 1/4 of this graph, 25% would be like that. So let's look for a right angle. That looks like the best right angle, so the answer for that is dog. Approximately what percent chose fish or none? Fish or none is fish and the category of none. So that much right there. So again, that's about a quarter, maybe a little less than a quarter. So 20% works for that. Pause.